Hello friends, welcome to the 28th session of Hybris tutorial. In this session, we will learn about the Hybris email flow functionality. We will learn how emails are sent in Hybris. Guys, you must have seen in multiple e-commerce websites where you receive emails for various functionalities like when you forget the password for your account. At that time you click on the forget password link, and once you click on the forget password link you just have to give your email id, and then email is received on your email client regarding the forget password. There you receive a link, and using that link you can reset password. Similarly, when you do a registration at that time, also, you get a registration confirmation email on your email ID. In the same way, once you place a order on any website like on Amazon, once you place a order, you receive the order confirmation email. So, guys, in this video, we are going to discuss this whole mechanism, how this email mechanism works in Hybris, what are the backend steps through which emails are generated and are sent to the customer email ID. So we will be learning all these concepts in this video. So guys, firstly, I am going to take the example of an existing functionality. Then we will be creating or writing the email flow for a particular functionality from the very scratch. So this video is going to be very useful for you if you are a Hybris developer and are working in the development projects, because in most of the e-commerce projects or in the e-commerce website, email functionality is a must need. So you will be using this functionality more frequently in your project. So this video is going to be very informative for you. So guys, before starting anything, I just want to show you how an email is sent from Hybris to your email ID. So currently I am on the e-commerce website. I have already done the B2C accelerator on my local system using the 1808 version of Hybris Suite. Guys, if you have not done this setup, you can watch my video and can do the local setup on your system. The link of video is given in the description box as well as on the top right corner in the card section, so you can watch that video and can do the B2C accelerator setup in your system. So guys, my setup is already done and I have started my server in the debug mode. So in case you don't know how to start the server in debug mode, you can watch my video. The link of video is given in description box as well as on the top right corner in card section. But for now, guys, my server is up in the debug mode. So I am just going to show you one sample example of email functionality. So guys, first of all, let me show you how the forget password functionality works, how email gets generated in the forget password functionality. This is the link for forget your password. So I'm clicking on this link, and once I click on this link, this pop-up gets opened. Guys, I have already done registration into my account. That is why I am clicking on the forget password link. So in case you have not done this registration, then this forget password functionality will be of no use for you. Firstly, you have to do the registration, then you can try this forget password functionality. So I am trying to enter my email ID. This is my email ID, amandeepinjavahybris@gmail.com. So I'm just clicking on this reset password button. I have not enabled the debug points yet. Firstly, I will show you this email generation part, then I will show you the inner functionalities as well of the reset password functionality. So I am clicking on the reset password button. As you can see, I have clicked on the reset password button, and in the backend, you will see that over here a log will get printed that email has been sent to the user. So this will take some time. You can see over here now we have got a message, email message has generated. Over here you can see this message has been generated. Then it is showing me another log in the default email service that sending email to this address amandeepinjavahybris@gmail.com from customer service at hybris.com with the subject forgot password. Don't worry, you must be wondering how this configuration happened. I will be explaining you each and every part of the email generation, but I just wanted to show you how this functionality works. As you can see now the email has been dispatched from our system, and if I just open my email client, if I just open my email client, you can see at 8:50 we have received one email. You can see this is the email we have received. You can see. So I hope this is clear to you. This is how we can, send an email, or we can send an email for the forget password functionality. How this email was sent, that I will be explaining you. So guys, this is one my of my account. There is another account through which this email was sent, right? So I will be showing you that account through which this email was sent. You can see at 8:50 the email was sent. The email was sent from this account, right? And it was dispatched to this account, and this was sent through our hybrid system only. I will be explaining you how this happened, where I have this configuration, where I have done this configuration in Hybris, that I will be using this account. I will be using this account to send the email. I mean, send the email to forget. Of course, the email was received on this account. Why it was received? Because in the forget password pop-up, I gave the email ID of this account. But how email was sent from this account, that I will be explaining you in this video only. I will be explaining you all the components which we need to write and all the components which we need to configure in order to make this email functionality working. But I hope this is clear to you how email gets generated in Hybris system. Guys, just for your information, in case you try to use this forget password link in your system, you will not be able to dispatch the email to any email account. For that, I have done some special configurations, and because of that only, I am able to receive the emails on my Gmail account or any other client. I am able to receive that. I will be explaining you which all configurations I have done to implement this functionality, right? So now I will be firstly explaining you how this password functionality is working. So for that, what I will do, I will enable the log points. I will enable the log points, and firstly what I will do, I will tell you how this functionality will be working in the backend. So once you click on forget password link, okay, a pop-up gets open. Right there, you submit the email ID, right, on which you want the forget password link to be sent. Right, so user click on that link, and then he can reset his password. Right, that is a different thing. But how that email was sent over to the user, that I'm going to explain you. Once the user click on the forget password link, he receives a pop-up. Over that, he enters the email and then click on the button. Once the button is clicked, request goes to forget password controller. request goes to forget password controller. Over that, then we will be calling service layer. Then we will be calling a service layer. In the service layer, what we will do, we will be basically calling one event. Don't worry, I will be explaining you all these components in detail, but for now I just want to tell you the brief flow how this email functionality works. From the service layer, we are calling one event class, event.java class, right? In that event, I will be in that event.java. It is a normal Java class. In that event.java, I will be basically populating all important object of that customer like UID, right? Language, all these things I will be populating in that event.java. Then from that event, I will be calling one event listener. I will be calling one event listener. What this event listener does, in the event listener, I have configured this event.java class. It means this event listener will automatically listen the request once you call this event.java class from the service layer. It means once this event is called from the service layer, automatically event listener will listen this request, right? In the event listener, what we do, in the event listener, we create a method to create business process. I have already explained you how to create a business process in my one of video. The link of video is given in the description box as well as on the top right corner in the card section. So you can watch that video and can see in detail how a business process gets created. But still I will explain you in detail how that business process gets generated. So in the event listener, we will be calling a method to create the business process. Don't worry, I will be showing you that syntax as well for creating a business process, right? So over here we call event to create a business process, right? So business process will be like forget password business process, right? So this is the password business process. Once this is called, once this is called, what happens? We do have a process.xml. We do have a process.xml with this name only, with this name only. That is why once you call this create process, once you call this create process, automatically request goes to this process.xml because this name and this name matches, right? Now in this process.xml, we have defined multiple actions. For example, generate email action. We will have such type of actions. This generate email action will be basically to generate the email body, email structure, email skeleton. In this action, that email skeleton will be generated. Don't worry, I will be showing you how that skeleton gets generated. But for now, just understand the architecture of email functionality. So in that generate email action, we will be basically generating the structure of email, right? There will be another action in the same process.xml. The second action will be send email. In this action, we will be basically dispatching the email. Over here, we are generating the email structure like what is the email subject, what is the email body, whom to send this email. All these things get generated over here. Over here, we are using default email client service to send the email to the particular user, and that is why this log was printed in the logs like sending email, something like that. That is why this log was generated because we are using default email service, and this log got printed in this flow only send email, right? So this is, there are one or two more actions that I will be explaining you in parallel once I will be showing you the complete demo. But this is how this whole email functionality works. From the controller, we call the service. From the service, we call the event class. Once the event is called, automatically event listener listens that event, and in the event listener, we are creating a business process. We are creating a business process, so automatically flows comes to this process.xml. Over here, we have defined multiple actions. There is one action to generate the email skeleton. Second action basically sends the email to the client. This is how email functionality works. Now I will be explaining you or showing you this complete code, how this is working. There is one or two more things. This email structure over here, I am saying that the email skeleton works, right? How this is working internally, we do write multiple VM files are basically velocity files. These are very similar to JSP or HTML, which we use in our Java projects. So in those files are basically to write the like subject, forgot password subject. There will be a separate VM file. Once I say VM file, just imagine a JSP or HTML file. There will be a VM file for writing the subject. There will be a VM file for writing body, right? So those will be the things, and then we create a email template, like email template, render template, email page. All these things are defined into our Impex. So over that we do all that configurations, right? So these subject and body VM files are very close to one context file, right? Where there will be a one context file. Over that, all these, these subject and body VM files fetch the data from these context files only. So all these context files, subject, body, and this generate email action. In that action we define a template, email template. All these are binded together in one Impex that I will be going to show you, and this is because of this binding complete email structure gets created, right? Then email is sent. Right now I will be showing you the complete details how it is working in the backend for the forget password. Once I show you for this functionality, then we will be creating a new email flow from the very scratch as well, right? So I have already enabled the debug points in my system. As you can see, I have enabled the debug points, and I have already added debug points at some specific locations, right? So what I will do, I will quickly go to the storefront, right? And then I will just refresh this URL, right? I will disable this for a moment. So guys, you can see now I am on this page. I am just clicking on this forget your password link, right? Then I am just clicking on my email ID. This is my email ID, amandeepinjavahybris@gmail.com. And once I click on the reset password, you can see once I clicked on the reset password, it is coming over this class password reset page controller.java, right? This is the class, right? And over here we do have this functionality customer facade dot forget password. We are going to basically a facade class, the forget password API. So I'm clicking over this, and then we will go to the facade layer. So request basically comes at this point in the facade layer. As you can see, the request has come to the facade layer. You can see over here. Then over here we are calling the service layer. And this is what I told you over here. From the controller, we are calling a facade, and from facade, we are calling a service, right? This is what I told you as well. Now you can see from the service what we are doing. We are calling a service layer method. As you can see, this is the forgotten password API, which is written into the customer account service class. You can see this is the class, right? You can see. You can see now I am in the service layer at this point, right? Over here, guys, we do have one important concept. Over here, we are calling one event. This is what I told you as well. In the service class, we call a event. In that event, we basically populate some important, attributes of the customer, right? And once the event is called, this event listener will be automatically, called off. So you can see this is the event service dot publish event. This is the method. you have to use the same method every time if you write a email functionality, right? In the initialize event, this will be written in this class only. You can see I am populating the basic things like base store, site, customer, language, currency, all these things are I am populating over here, and this is returning me abstract customer commerce user event, which is basically extending the abstract event, right? As you can see over here, I am calling new forget password event. This is the event class, right? If I can just show you, this is nothing but a simple Pojo class, right? Which is extending abstract commerce user event, right? Its name is forgotten password event, right? So I will just copy the name of this event class, and then we will go back. Right, so you can see in this event, in this forget password event, we are just setting the token, right? So once this event is called, automatically there is a forget password event listener as well. You can see this is the forget password event listener. You can see there should be a forget password event listener. Right, so this is that forget password event listener. This is basically extending this class abstract accelerator site event listener. Guys, just remember this point. Always all listeners extend this class only, abstract accelerator site event listener. And how I came to know that this listener will be called automatically once I call that forget password event.java, because in this listener only I have done the mapping of this event, forget password event, right? That is why this listener will be called automatically. And once you extend any class with this abstract accelerator site event listener, automatically you have to override one API which is on site event, right? Over here what you are doing, you are just picking the values from the event. You are basically picking the values from the event. As you remember, in the service class we had set these all values, right? During the initialize event API, in that API we had set all these values into the event. Now we are just fetching the values from the event object and just setting those values into the forget password process model, right? In this model class we are just setting all these values, right? Now what we are doing over here we are calling the business process service dot start process. We are calling this method, but in the beginning only you can see I am calling business process service dot create process. This is what I had also told you during our brief description. You can see in the event listener only we call the create business process method. As you can see in the event listener only, we are calling this create process method, and this will be the name of business process, right? The name, forget password, then we are appending the customer UID, then current time, and this is the process name. There should be a process.xml with this name, right? Don't worry, I will be showing you all these things in detail in this video only. So I'm just clicking over this, and you can see automatically listener has been called. And over here guys we are creating a business process. I will show you in the back office as well that this business process will be called automatically. So I am just opening the back office so that I can show you that the new business process gets created automatically. Why it gets created automatically? Because you can see over here we have given a linking, right? So there must be some process.xml file with this name. So I can simply search like this, name is equal to this one into process.xml file, right? So let's search and see if we do have, you can see we do have this forget password email process.xml, which has same name, forget password email process. That is why this process.xml will be called, and inside this you can see we do have multiple actions. So once you create that process, automatically this process.xml will be called, and inside whatever the actions we have written, those will be called automatically, right? So I hope this is clear to you. So once that process is called, we are basically calling the first action, generate password email. Why this should be the first action? Because over here I have written start tag as forget password email, right? So this start tag means once this process.xml is called, it firstly tries to find the start tag. So this is the start tag. So firstly it will be calling this action id, right? So this is the generate forget password email. If I can just show you the definition of this action, this definition should be explained into the corresponding spring.xml file only. I have already explained you this concept during our detailed discussion in business process. So what I will do, I will write like this: bean id is equal to this one, and I will try to search this into XML, and we will see where this is written. You can see over here I am able to find this in training course spring.xml. So let's try to search this. I'm trying to open this. Over here you can see, guys, this bean definition is written. What we have done, this is the generate forget password email bean, and this is the parent abstract generate email action. Guys, always whenever there is a action to generate email, as I already told over here, this action, this first action, generate email action, over here the whole skeleton is prepared, whole email skeleton like subject, body, and from to everything is prepared in this section using the email template, because we give this mapping of email template, email page, all these things, right? So always this generate email action, always this action will be extending this abstract generate email action only. You can see we do have others, generate customer registration email, right? This will be basically action defined into the registration flow. This is also extending this abstract generate email action. You can see this is also extending. So it means always a action which is intended to create the email skeleton, that action will always extend this abstract generate email action. Always we pass one property which is front end template name, and this is the template we have given, forgotten password email template. Just remember this template name, this will be very important concept. You can see always whenever we define any action which is intended to generate email skeleton, that inherits one property which is front end template name, and for this template we give the different template for different functionalities. This is the order confirmation email template. Similarly, we do have this forgotten password email template that we have given into this generate forget password email. So I will just copy this template name over here, so that we will be aware that in this section only we gave the this template mapping into the attribute section, into the properties, right? So this is what I had to show. And in this abstract generate email action, only whole email skeleton creation is written. As you can see, if I just try to search for this, bean id is equal to generate email action, you will see that we will have a 1D bean with this name, abstract generate email action. You can see this is the bean. So it means once this action is called, automatically this abstract generate email action is will be called, and this is the corresponding class generate email action. Right, so this generate email action will be basically extending this abstract simple decision action, Right, so this is out of box action. So I will just add one debug point over here as well. So now what I will do, I will just move forward and then we will show you that what all these things happen. Right, so I will go to the debug point again and then I will just click over here. You can see we were on the create business process method, right? You can see we were on this method, and once this method will be called, you will see that automatically a business process will get created, right? Automatically a business process should be created. So I hope this thing is clear to you. This should be the name of the process.xml file, right? And this is the over here till this point, this is the business process name which is going to created, right? So I will be just clicking over here, so you can see now a business process has been created into system. And then over here we are basically filling some other important parameters into the model class. And over here guys, we are starting the process. So once I say I am starting the process, whatever the actions written into this process.xml file, whatever the actions written into this forget email process.xml file, all these actions will start running. Like the first action is generate forget password email. I have already shown you the definition of this generate forget password email. So you can see now this dot start process method is getting called, right? So I'm just clicking over here and this generate email action has been called. You can see this generate email action has been called. I had already shown you that this was the parent class, that is why it is getting called. Right over here you can see we will be basically defining the structure of our email template, right? So I will be just skipping this section and then I will show you that how email context is getting called. So once whole data gets loaded, once the complete data gets loaded in the final stage, this email context gets called. This email context called, you will have a question that how the system came to know that this email context.java class will be called. The system came to know because this mapping is given into one Impex file. I will show you that Impex file as well. So you can see if I just try to search for the template which we had given into Impex, there should be one file email underscore en something. Let's try to search that. So guys, you can see this is the email content.impex file. In this file, we have given all type of mappings like what is the template, what is the corresponding VM file. You can see this is the forget password. Email template. There should be one corresponding mapping as well. You can see everything is defined over here. Over here we have firstly defined email page template. This is my template, right? Then we must have given this entry of this template with some VM file as well. I will show you that as well. It should be given into render template object. So you can see over here in this render template, we have given the, like for the forgot password, I have given this package name and this is the context. I hope this is clear to you how this is defined. So this is defined like this, right? But don't worry about this. Once we will be writing this email functionality from the very scratch, I will be showing you each and every component which we write in this Impex. But I hope this is clear to you that this context file gets binded with the VM files or with the templates in this Impex only, right? So guys, now I will be just skipping this section and then you will see in the logs we will be sending email to the to the user. And guys, this is how email functionality works in the backend. I hope this is clear to you how this is working in the backend. You will see that in the inbox we must have received one email related to the forget password, right? So guys, as you can see in the logs, this message has been generated, and then now we must have received one more file in our logs. You can see I'm just refreshing this inbox. I'm just refreshing my inbox, and in the inbox you will see that we must have received one more email into our inbox section. So I hope this is clear to you how this forget password functionality is working. So guys, now you must be wondering how I am able to send the email from Hybris system, because if you try to do the same, you will not be able to send the email to any Gmail account or any other system, right? How I am able to do for that, guys, I have done a configuration in my local.property file, and I had already explained this configuration in my last video on Groovy script to send email. In that video, we had done one configuration in our local.property file. We had to add these properties. We had to add these properties into our local.property file, and this is what I am doing over here. I am declaring a SMTP. SMTP is nothing, it is basically a host through which with the help of which I am sending emails to different Gmail accounts, right? So over here I am using the SMTP of Gmail, but how I am doing the authorization of this SMTP? For that I am using my Gmail credentials. Don't try to log in through these credentials. I will be changing this password very shortly, but this is how I am doing the authorization to the Gmail. And once you have done these configurations, you will be ready to use the Gmail SMTP, and you will be ready to send the emails to different Gmail account or any other email client account. But this authorization thing you have to do. I hope this is clear to you, but don't worry, I will be attaching the local.property file and all other relevant files. I will be uploading all these files into the Google Drive, and will share the link of Google Drive into the comment section of this video, so that you can also download all these files into your system, right? So guys, this was all about the forget password functionality into Hybris system. Now we will be creating one functionality where we will be doing the end-to-end implementation of email flow in Hybris. So firstly, I have set a threshold limit like £100. Once the cart total exceeds to £100, I will be sending one email to customer that add some more items into your cart, so that your cart will become a golden cart. And once your order total exceeds to £200, you will get 80% discount on your cart total. So for that I will create one promotion, right? I hope you already know how to create a promotion. I have already explained the promotion topic in my video. Link of video is given in description box, as well as on the top right corner in card section. There I have already explained how to create a promotion. So I will be creating one promotion that whenever the cart total exceeds to £200, I will give a discount of percentage discount of 80%, right? This is my requirement. So firstly I have to detect, okay, my cart total is now exceeding £200. Then I will in that logic I will write logic to send email to customer account. For sending email, I will be writing a subject and body. Right, in the body I will be writing all these things like, now you are about to be eligible for the diamond card. If your total exceeds to £200, then you will get 80% discount. All these things I will be writing into the body section of the email, right? This is what my requirement is. I hope the requirement is clear to you. So for that, what I will do, So guys, to implement this functionality, what we will do, firstly, we will create a new item type. I will just briefly explain you what I am going to do. So we will create a new item type, which is Hybris Tube email process, right? We will create this new item type, which will be basically extending the storefront customer process. This, item type is already there, provided by the Hybris out of box. So we will be extending this item type, right? And in this new item type, we will be creating a new attribute, which is basically a cart. So this new attribute we are going to create, which is of type abstract order. Right, don't worry. Once you will understand the concept, once you will go through whole functionality, you will understand why we have added a new attribute into this new item type. So the main purpose is we will be basically saving the cart of the customer right into our new process model class. So how we will create a new item type? We will create a new item type into our training core item.xml. Firstly, I will close all these tabs, and then what I will do, I will go into training core item.xml. Inside the training core items.xml, we will be creating our new item type, right? As you can see, I have now opened the training core items.xml, and over here guys, you can see over here I have already written this new item type, Hybris Tube email process. As you can see, item type code is equal to Hybris Tube email process, auto create is equal to true, generate is equal to true, and then this is the Jalo class, right? And this is extending the storefront customer process item type. And guys, this is the attribute which I have declared over here. You can see we have declared a new attribute of qualifier value cart, and it is of type abstract order, right? And this is the description. As I already told you, the requirement, like once the order total is greater than £100, I will send an email to the customer that uh, complete your customer card to value of £200 so that your card will get a 80% discount, right? It means basically we are prompting customer to buy more. Once the order total or cart total reaches to £100, we are prompting customer to buy more £100, right, items. So this is my basic purpose, and this attribute persistence type is equal to property. I hope this requirement is clear to you, and it is clear to you why we have created a new item type, because so that we can save this cart attribute into the Hybris Tube email process model, right? So guys, once you have done this entry, the first task you have to do is build the project so that the corresponding Hybris Tube email process model class gets generated. And because we have set this generate is equal to true, so that the corresponding Hybris Tube email process dot Java class also gets generated. So what I will do, I will quickly stop my server first by just pressing Control C, and then what I will do, I will write the CLS so that I can clear my screen, and then I will do end all. So it will take some time to finish the end all command, and once the end all command is finished, I will show you that corresponding Hybris Tube email process model class and corresponding Hybris Tube email process dot Java class will get generated. And once guys these classes will get generated, what we will do, we will be basically giving the mapping of our process.xml, which we are going to create. So as you can see over here, we had decided like we will be creating a process.xml file. So this process.xml file we will be creating, and corresponding mapping we will be giving in our training core spring.xml file. This is we are going to do once the ant all complete. So this will take some time. Let's wait for the ant all to finish. It will take around 10 to 15 minutes in your system as well. So guys, as you can see now, ant all command has been finished successfully. So what we will do, we will quickly go and we will refresh our platform extension. Why we are refreshing our platform extension so that the corresponding model classes also start reflecting in our Eclipse. So I am going to the platform extension and then I will just refresh my platform extension. So I have right clicked over here and then I have refreshed this extension. So this will take some time to refresh, and once this refresh will get completed, you will see we will have a Hybris Tube email process model.java class and Hybris Tube email process dot Java class because we have marked this generate is equal to true. So I am trying to search this. So you will see we do have Hybris Tube email process dot Java class and we do have Hybris Tube email process model dot Java class. So I hope this is clear to you and you are clear like what is the benefit of firing this and all command. Right now, what we will do, we will go into training core spring.xml file. In the training core spring.xml file over here, we will be firstly doing the mapping of process.xml file which we are going to create. So once I do the mapping, then I will be creating that Hybris Tube email process.xml file as well. So over here, we will be giving the mapping of Hybris Tube email process.xml file. So how I will be doing, as you can see over here, we will have this type of entry already for other process.xml. As you can see, for example, this one, you can see over here, I have done the entry for customer registration email process.xml. I mean, I have not done, Hybris has already done this out of box, right? Similarly, we will be creating our email process.xml file and I will be doing the entry for the same over here. So what I will do, I will just copy this and then I will just paste this again like this, and in this path only I will be creating my own process.xml file. So what will be the name of that process.xml file? I will give the name as Hybris Tube email process.xml. You always have to use the same class, I mean for your process.xml, like you can see always the same class process definition resource we are using, right? So always you have to use the same thing. Over here I will be giving the name as something like this, Hybris Tube email process definition resource, right? So you can see this is the definition we have to give, right? I hope this is clear to you. But now at this path training core in the processes, we will be creating this Hybris Tube email process.xml. So how I will be doing, I will be just taking the reference like this, forget password, email process.xml. I will open this and at the same location, I will create my, you can say my process.xml file. You can see this file is present over here in the training core process.xml. Over here only, I will be creating my process.xml with the name Hybris Tube email process.xml. So what I will do, I will just copy this. I will just copy this forget password email process.xml by pressing Control C and then I will click over here. Then I will just do the paste of this file by pressing Control V. You can see I have pressed the Control V and over here I will just rename this file by writing like this Hybris Tube email process.xml. Right, so this is the name of, my file, Hybris Tube email process.xml, and this is the same name which we had given in our training course spring.xml, right? The name should be same, otherwise system will throw a error. So this is the what you have to take care of, right? So after that, what I will do, I will just click OK, and you will see over here we have created one file, Hybris Tube email process.xml. Now I will be doing some changes over here. For example, for this file, what I will do, I will change its name to forget password email process to Hybris Tube email process. I will write like this, Hybris Tube, right, email process. So this is the name of now this email process. This is very important thing, you have to take care of this. Our name of our process.xml is Hybris Tube email process. So once I will be I mean calling this process.xml, I have to use this name only. That is why this is very important concept, right? Then what I will do, this is the process class. I will be using my own process class. So I will be using Hybris Tube email process model, which we had generated in our item type. This one, Hybris Tube email process model. We will see its path is DE Hybris training core model, right? This is the path. So we will mention the same path over there as well. So you can see DE Hybris training core dot model. This should be our path, DE Hybris training core dot model, right? And then this was the name of our model class, Hybris Tube process, Hybris Tube email process model, right? So this was the name. Let's cross verify this as well. This should be the name of our model. Yeah, this is the name. So I hope this is clear to you why I have added this process class as Hybris Tube email process model class, right? I hope this is clear to you. Now, what we will do, we will, I mean, use other actions as it is, send email, right? All actions we will be using as it is, like remove send email, right? In this error message, I will write like this only, something went wrong. When it is failed, could not send email to owner of gold cart, right? I will write like this, and sent email to cart has been sent. We will write like this. I will show you where we will be using these success and failed messages. Email to gold cart owner has been sent. We will write like this. Okay, so this is clear to you. Now we are left with this action, generate forgot password email. For this, we will write generate Hybris Tube email. I will write like this, generate Hybris Tube. But I hope now it is clear to you how I mean, creating these actions. I'm just taking the reference of any other class, and I'm just, I mean, changing the syntaxes as per my requirement. So this is the name. So this should be the start action. So I will be just replacing this over here as well. So I think this is what we have to do. All our things are completed now. So this is the bean. So bean should also be the same. So I will write like this, generate Hybris Tube email action, right? Like this. So, guys, this send email, remove send email, all these things should already be there. All these actions should already be there in our training course spring.xml. But this action we have to define. We have to define the bean of this generate Hybris Tube email action that we will be defining in our spring.xml. So, how we will be doing? We will be just copying this like this, and then in our spring.xml, this is our spring.xml. Over here you will see like we have already given such type of mappings. For example, if I can just show you one example, you can see we have already given such type of mappings for forget password of or for the order confirmation. Similarly, we will be giving our entry as well. So I had the copied this thing. Right now I will just copy this. Right, I will just copy this and I will just paste this, and then we'll just change my action over here. So you can see bean ID is generate Hybris Tube email action, and its parent is abstract Gmail action. This is already I have told you. We always have to define this action only in case we want a action to create the skeleton for email, right? So this should be the parent always, right? And this is the property name, front end template name, and the template name should be like Hybris Tube email template. Hybris Tube email template. Just remember this. We will be creating a new template with this name only, Hybris Tube email template. So this is what you have to do. In our training course spring.xml. Don't worry, I will be providing you all these files separately on the Google Drive. You can just download uh, all these files from the link which I am going to give you in the comment section. So you can download all these files, but you just have to watch the syntax, what I am doing, in which flow I am doing. So you have to watch all these things. So this is what you have to do. Now, guys, our next task is we will be generating the event class. This one we will be generating a event class. So how I am going to generate the event class? So for that, what we will do, we will be writing the event in our package. It should be in the src. Over here, you can see we do have multiple events classes, right? We do have multiple listeners, we do have events as well. Over here only, guys, we will be generating our event class. We will be writing our email event class. So how that event class we will be generating, I am just blindly copying one file, right, like this, and then I will just paste here, and then I will name it as Hybris Tube email event dot java, right? This is what I have done. Okay, I will just click over the OK, and you will see that we will get to now one Hybris Tube email event dot java. If I can just show you, we will have multiple event classes in our system already. So you will see that we do have all these event.java classes. We already have some classes are event listeners, some are event.java. So you can check all these files as well. But we do have already event.java classes. So now what I will do, I will just change the logic in this because this logic is for the event listener. I will change the logic inside this, and what I will do, I will just remove all these things. I will just remove all these things, right? And I will firstly extend this with abstract commerce use event. Abstract commerce user event. Guys, you also have to do the same thing. So you just have to follow the same steps once you will be implementing this functionality in your requirement as well. You just have to follow the same steps, right? I am extending this with abstract commerce user event. So now what I will do over here, I will be declaring one attribute, which is private abstract order model, right? Abstract order model. Over here, I will declare this attribute cart, right? Then what I will do, I will just define the constructor of this class like this public Hybris Tube email event, right? Like this, and then I will define the arguments inside this, right? I have already shown you like for our forget password, we were sending the token, right? Similarly, we in this constructor, I will be passing the cart like this final abstract order model. Okay, I will write like this, and then I will pass what else I can pass. I can pass the base store as well. I have to pass all these basic things which we are required to, send for a customer, like the base store, base ID, currency, all these things we need to pass, right? So you also have to pass the same things for your requirement only. So this is my base store model like this, okay, and then we will pass base site as well, base site, okay, and then we will be passing the currency as well. Okay, I think this bracket is extra, so no, it is not extra. So this is what we have to do over here. I will just doing the mapping. This dot cart is equal to the cart value which we receive from the constructor call, and then we will set the base store. This is why we had extended this abstract commerce user cart, so that I can set the values of base store as well. You can see I can set the values of base store as well. Why I'm able to call this method? Because I am extending this abstract commerce user event, right? So this is what you have to do. Then you have to write like set site, right? Like this. And I will just pass the site over here. Similarly, I will set the currency as well. Right, so guys, I hope now you understand why we are extending this abstract commerce user event class. So this is my currency, and then language should be right cart dot get user dot get session language, right? Why I'm doing setting all these things? Because I will be calling this constructor. I will be calling this constructor from either from the controller or from the service, and I will be populating all these values from the controller. Like I will be doing calling this constructor from the cart page controller, right, in this video only, and from that controller class I will be passing all these base store value, site value, currency value. So once I pass all these values and call these constructor, then these corresponding values get set into this cart attributes into the session context of this class, right? So this is what I have done. Right after that, now this model class, this event class has been now created. This is what we have to do. You also have to do the same thing. You just have to generate such type of Java class, right? Now what we will do, we will be generating one event listener class, right? So event listener class will also be generated in this path only. So I will just copy this forget password event listener and will paste this and will rename this as a Hybris Tube event email event, right? And then we will write like listener. Okay, so I will just press OK. So once this is pressed, you can see over here we do have a Hybris Tube email event listener. Over here, what we will do, you will see that this listener class has been opened. We will retain this model service, business service, we will retain all these things. And guys, you can see this is extending the abstract accelerator site event listener. Always, once you create this listener class, you always have to extend your listener class with this class only abstract accelerator site event listener, right? Once you extend this listener class, what you do over here, you get a overridden method on site event, right? As I already told in our basic flow, in the event listener, we set the basic things, right? We set the basic things and we create a process, right? Now what you have to do, you can see over here we have to map like, okay, this event listener should be called when this event gets called, right? So we have to, I mean, mention our event.java. Over here you can see it was calling forget password event, but we do have our own event hybris tube email event.java. So I will give the mapping of this hybris tube email event. You can see this is the one, right? So I have given this mapping, and then what we will do, we must have given this entry over here. So I will just change this hybris tube email event, right? So I hope this concept is clear to you what I am doing. I will just remove this thing and then we will be, I mean, creating all these things from the very scratch, right? This one, I will just change this with Hybris Tube email event. I think this is working now. Now what you have to do, you can see over here we are creating a business process, right? Now our business process, firstly, this name should map with the name which we have created in our process.xml. You can see this was process.xml. Over here, I had given this name, right? Hybris Tube email process, right? So this should be the name. The same name should be mentioned in our listener.java. Over here, you can see I have mentioned this Hybris Tube email process. And this forgotten password for this as well, I will write like this Hybris Tube email, something like this, right? So this is what you have to do. Over here, what I will do, I will just print the hybrid event dot get cart. And guys, you just have to do one more thing, like in the Hybris Tube email event.java, we have to generate the getters and setters of this cart as well. So you have to do this thing as well. How you will be generating the getter and setter? Firstly, I have right clicked over here. I have right clicked. Then I went to source. Over here we have generate getters and setters. So I just select this. I selected this and then I've just pressed on the OK button. And you can see now we do have getters for the I mean this class, right? Right, so then I will just save this over here. Then in the listener.java class, you can see now I am able to fetch the get cart, right? And over here, then we will be basically giving the name of our business process. I will be just giving the get code. I will be writing like this, right? So it means our business process name will be like this, Hybris to email, and then this hyphen, and then this card number, I mean cart number, and then the current time, right? Current time in millisecond. This will be the business process name. Once I will create this business process, I will show you as well the name of this business process, right? Now this should be Hybris Tube email process model. So I will change right like this, Hybris Tube email process model, this one, right? Where we generated this, we created this over here, Hybris Tube email process in item.xml. I am giving the same name, Hybris Tube email process model. And I hope now you will understand why we created this extra attribute card. Now you will understand that. You can see I have created this, so I will just copy this and will paste over here as well, right over here as well, and will make this letter as small, right? So this is what you have to do as well, right? I will then copy this and will paste over here, and then will paste over here as well. So this will also start working. Now you have to, in the model class, we will be setting multiple things like cart value, hybris tube, right, email process model dot set cart, right? This is why I created one extra attribute cart into the hybris tube email process in item.xml, because I need to set this value, right? So you can see I have done this. How I will be event dot get cart, and from where this I mean, in the event class, how you will be getting, in the event class, how you will be getting this cart value, we will be getting this value from the controller or from somewhere else, from where this event.java constructor will be called. That I am going to show you how we will be calling this constructor. Once we call this constructor, we will be setting this cart value, and the same cart value we are using over here, right? Similarly, guys, we will be setting other attributes. So I will just quickly copy this, right? And then we'll paste over here, and then I will write set currency, right? Data also we will be uh, getting like this event dot get currency. And I hope you understand why we are getting all these things, event dot get currency and all these things, because over here in the constructor only we had set all these values: currency, language, site, base store. So we will be setting all these values over here as well in our process model. And this process model object we are going to I mean send to start the process. That is why these things are necessary to set in this process model object as well, right? So next will be the set store, right? And why we are getting all these attributes into process model.java class? Because this attribute hybris tube email process, this is extending the storefront customer process. And in this storefront customer process, we have I mean all these attributes, right? If I can just show you in, it should be like item type code is equal to like this, right? In over here, this mapping should be given. You can see, right? Let's open this. This is again extending storefront process, but over here we have a customer and language. Then we have to go in storefront process. This should be over here. You can see this is storefront process, and this has these attributes, site and store. This is again extending the business process. This will have more attributes, right? But this is basic hierarchy. This is how it is working. I hope this is clear to you, right? Then we have this Hybris Tube email event listener. Over here I will be setting event dot get store. Guys, why I again and again tell you multiple things? Because the first time once you are learning, you will not I mean get hold of all concept, why, how I am getting these set currency, how I am getting set store. That is why I was showing you all these things, right? So now I have set the store value, and I will be setting similarly the site as well. So I will copy it again and then will set site as well like this. Okay. And then we will be setting language as well. Guys, you also have to do similar steps once you will be creating the email functionality for your requirement. And in case you still have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section, or you can even email me as well on my email ID. I will help you, right? So this is what you have to do. Now we are just saving this. So over here, what we are doing, firstly, we have started a business process over here. You can see, then we are setting multiple attributes into process model class, right? These attributes, and then we are just saving this, process model into system, right? And then we are starting this process, right? Hybris Tube email process model. Once this is started, multiple actions which are written into this process.xml file, these actions will start running. Now you should have a question that at this point I have already, created a business process. Then why I am setting these attributes after that, right? This is we are setting because after that we are saving this Hybris Tube email process model, and over here we are starting multiple actions, and these all things will be used once all these actions will start running. In these actions functioning, all these things, these attributes which we have set, these will be used. That is why we have done this thing over here, right? So I hope this is clear to you. This is what we have to do, and this is the listener you have to create, right? Right, you can see over here we do have multiple listener classes. So over here only I will be giving the mapping of my listener class. So how I will be doing, I will be just copying one listener like this. I have copied here, and then I will just paste again. Right, I will just paste again, and then I will give its name as like Hybris Tube email event listener like this. Hybris Tube email, right? I will write like this, Hybris Tube email event listener, right? Then this is the class name DE Hybris Training Core event. You can see my listener is also in DE Hybris Training Core event. Then I will give its name as, right, Hybris Tube email event listener like this, Hybris Tube email event listener, because this is the same name, Hybris Tube email event listener, right? And this the parent abstract accelerator site event listener, and because of this event only, this parent only, we were able to call the on-site event method inside this listener, as I already told, right? I hope this is clear to you. And inside this we have given these two properties, model service and business service. Why we have given these two properties? Because over here you can see we have declared these two attributes, model service and business service, and we are using these model service and business service over here, right? We have generated getters and setters as well for these attributes. So I hope this is clear to you. This is Spring concept, right? So this is what you have to do. This is how you have to do the mapping of event listener, right? Now what we have to do, as I already told, this event.java constructor will be called from somewhere else, right? So as I told, this will be called from the cart page controller. So this is my cart page controller, and from here I will be basically calling this this event, right? So where I will be calling, there is one method, show cart method. In that, I will be writing logic like once my car total exceeds 200 pound, then I will be calling this event. So how I will be doing? I will be going to show cart method over here, and over here, guys, you have to use the do the same thing, because my requirement was that I need to send the email only to the registered customer, right? That is why over here you can see over here I am checking firstly if user facade dot is anonymous user false. Right over here I have used the false statement. only then I have to implement this functionality. You will also have this method, show cart method, and then you will have this statement return prepare cart URL, but this thing you have to add, right? So you will not have this user facade. So for that, what I have done, I have added these things, like these things. You also have to add the same things. You have to declare the user facade as a resource, right? And cart service as a resource, event service as a resource. You have to do these things. I will be providing you this file as well, and by uploading this file on the Google Drive, and then you can download these files from the link which I am going to give you in the comment section. But this is what you have to do. Right, this is what you have to do. You have to, like in this, what I am doing, I am firstly getting the cart, right, user cart from the session. Then I am checking, okay, my cart total is greater than 100. Okay, yes, my cart total is greater than 100. Then what I am doing, I am just publishing this event. What I am doing by publishing this event, you can see I am calling the constructor new Hybris Tube email event. This is the event class which we had created. In this constructor, I am passing the cart model. I am passing this cart model dot get store, get site, currency, all these things which we had defined in this constructor, cart base store site. I am passing, that is why these things are getting set, right? So you can see I have passed these things, and in the initialize event, I am just returning the abstract event, right? So I hope this is clear to you. Right, so guys, I hope this is clear to you. Over here, we are just setting the cart value, Hybris to email event. Right, as you can see over here, we have just added this set cart, right? And this is the variable private abstract order model cart, right? And you can see these things we have passed. And from this point, it means once the cart total exceeds to greater than 100 pound, our code flow will come into this method, show cart method, right? Over here, I'm checking, okay, my user is anonymous or not. If it is not anonymous, I am publishing this event, right? What I am doing by publishing this event, I am firstly setting the values into this event.java class, and once this event.java class will be called, automatically this listener will listen this and flow will come over here. Over here, what I will be doing, I am creating a business process, right? Business process we have already defined over here. This will be called, and once we call this dot start process method, automatically all the actions defined in this process.xml that will start running, right? So in this we have written a logic for sending the email, right? So I hope this is clear to you what we are going to do. But for this generate Hybris Tube email action, right? I told you in this we are generating the email skeleton, right? For this, what you have to do for this, we will be basically writing a context class and VM, because we have to tell the system, okay, this is the subject you have to send in the email, right? This is the body of the email. This should be the body. For that, we will be creating a VM file. As I already told, VM or velocity files are very corresponding to JSP files. I will be creating a separate video for the VM files, but for now, just understand that VM files are very similar to JSP or HTML files which we write in our Java projects. Right over here, over there, I will be mentioning the subject and body of the email which we are going to send. So it means this generate Hybris Tube email will be generating the email skeleton, and for that we will need to create one context file which will be very much in sync with the VM files which we are going to create, right? Now what we will be doing after creating all these things, firstly we will be creating our context class. So you can see we do have multiple context classes already in our system. You can see we do have abstract email context. Multiple type of context classes we already have in right in our system, right? So what I will do, I will just search for the like this. I will just search whether I have anything from the training extension. Yes, we do have like customer email context.java, right? It is in the, so I will create a context class very much in parallel to this context class only. Over here only I will be creating my new context class. So what I will do, I will just copy this and then I will just paste over here. So then I will just rename this to Hybris Tube email context. But I hope you will now understand that what is the use of context class, right? Hybris Tube email context, right? This is the name. So I will just click over OK. And once I click OK, you will see that this Hybris Tube email context has been generated, right? So you can see over here we have multiple things. We will not be requiring all these things. We will be just taking care like this context class should always extend this abstract email context, right? This always should extend abstract email context if you want to use this context class for sending or creating the skeleton of email, right? So over here, what we have to do, I have to replace my model class, which we created in our item.xml. So that was Hybris Tube email process model, I think. I'm just pressing control space. You can see I have pressed the control space, and this is what we have to do, right? I will be just removing all these things. I will be just removing all these things and will be putting my logic inside this, right? I will be putting my logic inside this. You can see it is asking me to add the unimplemented methods. These are the unimplemented methods. Get site, get customer, right? And get email language. I have to add all these things, right? So I will just write my logic over here. Like this, I will be writing my logic, right? So you can see this is the, logic which I have written, right? So you can see over here, I have called this converter. Do I need this converter? I don't think I need this converter, right? So I will just remove this converter. Do I need this data class as well? I don't think I need this data as well. So I will just remove this as well. And I will remove this getters and setters as well. All these things I have removed now. I think it is fine now. Right. So guys, you have to create a context file, right? So this is basically the velocity context for a customer email, right? So this is what you have to do in the super.init method. This is basically we are calling this abstract email context. Over here we have a method, init method. You can see over here we should have a init method, right? Over here we are setting multiple things, base site, right? Put from email, all these things we are setting, but basically this is the context file, right? And this will be called when you will be calling this action generate email action, which we have defined in our process.xml file. Over here, Hybris Tube email process.xml. Once this action will be called generate Hybris Tube email action, right? At that time, this velocity context file will be called, right? And all these things will get set. Right, then guys, what we have to do, we have to give the mapping of this velocity context, right? We have to declare it as a bean. So we will be declaring this bean into corresponding spring.xml in the facade layer only. So I will open the corresponding spring.xml. From here, you will see that we do have a spring.xml in resources. So I will open this spring.xml. Over here, I will give the mapping of my context file. So you can see we have given the mapping for multiple context files over here. So if I can just show you, you can see we do have given the mappings, right? Over here we have given the mappings for multiple. Similarly we have given the mapping for our context class as well, Hybris to email context. I have just given the complete path, that is DE Hybris training facade process email context, right? I think this was the name, DE Hybris Training Facades Process Email Context. This is the same path, right? So this is the parent abstract email context. You can see for other context classes, same thing is written. And then this is the scope. Scope is the prototype. Scope is prototype. So what this prototype scope means, it means every time you ask the Spring, right? So ask the Spring get bean or dependency injection for an instance, it will create a new instance and give a reference to that. So that is why we have declared this scope as preference, right? In our example, a new instance of you can see generate email action will be called, right? So this is why we have declared this scope as prototype. Right, so I hope this is clear to you. This is what we have to do. Now we are left with only three tasks. We have to firstly create the VM files for subject and body. Then we have to map all the subject body VMs with this context file, right? Only then this context file will get the data of subject and body, right? So how I will be creating the VM files? For that, I will be creating VM files. For example, I will firstly try to search the VM files like this dot VM extension, and it should be inside. You can see we do have multiple VM files, but I will be searching for a training one. Right, so you can see we do have multiple VM files over here. So I will just select this email cancel subject.vm, right? So you can see over here we have, created multiple VM files. So we will be creating the VM file over here only. So how I will be creating a VM file? Like I will copy any VM file like this. I will be copy this only by pressing Control C, and then I will just paste over here again, and then we'll just rename it. So I will give the name as email Hybris Tube like this, Hybris Tube, right, email subject, right, like this. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. And inside this email Hybris Tube email subject, so you can see this is my VM file. Right over here, I will be writing subject is your cart is. So this will be basically the subject of our email. Your cart is about to be eligible for 80% discount, right? 80% discount, right? Your gold card, I will write like this. Your gold card is about to be eligible for 80% discount, like this, right? So this is my subject. Similar way, I will be creating one body. Otherwise, I will just copy this only, and then I will be pasting like this, and then we'll just rename this to body, right? Its name should be Hybris Tube email body.vm, right? So this is what we have to do. So you can see now we have a email body VM as well. So VM is the basically velocity file. Over here, I will do some changes, right? So what I will do, I will do changes like this. This is fine. Ahref, this is fine, right? This is also fine. Yeah, this is fine. Then in the header section, what we are going to do, we will be basically replacing this table. We don't need this, all these things. You can, use these tables as per your requirement, but I just have to paste a single, content. That is why I don't need all these tables. So, uh, in this body section only, I will be writing like this. Hey, then the customer name. So how I will be picking the customer name? Every time you have to pick some variable values, so you have to use something like this only. Context, write like this, and then you have to write like our name, display name, right? Why I am using this word display name? Because in the context file which we had created, Hybris Tube email. Over here, we were using this display name. If I just show you the value, this is the name, display name, and that is why I am using the same word over here, display name, right? Hey, hey, and then customer name, and then I'm just putting exclamation mark, and then in the new div, I am writing like this. I will just close this div. Over here, I will write like this. Your cart can become a gold cart if you do a purchase of say 200 pound, right? I will write like this. So when this email will get generated, once the order total or car total exceeds 200 pound, at that time we are prompting customer that you can buy purchase of 200 pound, that at that time you will get a 80% discount. So this is what we are going to communicate. So over here I am writing once your cart becomes a gold cart by adding cart total greater than 200 pounds, you will get 80% discount on your gold card. This is what I am going to show on the customer, and then I can write like this in the div, or simply I can write thanks and regards, Hybris Tube sales team. Right? So this is what my email communication is done, right? Then I have to I have to map the email context, right? This email subject VM file, email body, this email subject VM file or this email body VM file, right? And this email context file, right? These three files, and one is the template which we had declared in our action which we had given in our process.xml file over here in Hybris Tube email process.xml, this one. Right over here, we have given this action generate Hybris Tube email, right? And during the declaration of this action in our Spring XML file, right, in our training course Spring XML file, this one over here we had given this action and I had declared this template, right? So now I have this template, Hybris Tube email template, and then I have a subject.vm file, and then I have a body.vm file, three files, and fourth one is my context file, Hybris Tube email context. I have to bind all these four things together. So how I will be doing? For that I will be creating one Impex, and through that I will be doing all these things. So what I will be doing, so this is the Impex which we need to run, right? So over here you can see we have done multiple things, like one is the render template, right? In the render template we have firstly mapped the subject and body with the context file, right? We have mapped the subject and body. This is the body file, this is the subject file, and this is the context file, right? We have given the mapping of these three files over here, right? So this is what we have done, and then this subject and body mapping is done, and I have just given the name of Hybris Tube email subject, and over here I am telling, okay, this is the path of my subject.vm file, right? So these are the two things. I think it is clear to you. Over here in this section we are just mapping the subject and body with the context file, right? Firstly I am saying, okay, if you say Hybris Tube email subject, right, this should be the path of that VM file. If I am saying Hybris Tube email body, then this should be the path of the VM file, right? And then we are mapping the subject and body with the corresponding context file, right? We are mapping over here. So I hope this is clear to you. Then this is second, third thing is email page template, right? Over here, what we are doing, we are mapping this Hybris Tube email template with the subject and body, right? This subject and body over here, we are doing this, right? And then over here in the email page, we are mapping the Hybris Tube email template with other attributes like from attribute, like in the email there should be a for a from attribute as well. So that thing I am doing over here. Then we are just mapping content slot and content slot for template. So this is what you have to do, guys. I will be providing you this Impex as well for your benefit, but this is what you have to do. And I will be explaining all these things like content slot for template, content slot name in detail during our WCMS video. So, but this is what you have to do. I hope this is clear to you, right? So, we will be running this Impex once we have done the we will bring our server up, and once we have done the system update, right? Why we need to I mean create why we need a system update? Because in our item.xml, we have created a new item type, right? So you can see in the training core items.xml we have created this new item type. That is why we need a system update. So now what I will do, I will quickly bring my server up, right? So firstly I will do ant all, right? Because we have done some changes in the Java as well. So I will do ant all, then we will bring our server up. So I'm firing ant all command, and this will take around 15 minutes to get finished. So let's wait for the ant all to get finished. So guys, you can see now entall command has been finished successfully. Now we will bring our server up, and to bring our server up in the debug mode, I have to fire this command, and as you can see, I am firing this command. So the server will take some time to come up. It will take around 15 to 20 minutes to come up. So let's wait for the server to come up. Then we will perform the system update. So why we are performing the system update? So that the corresponding changes, the item type which we have created, the corresponding item type table also get created into database table as well. If you don't perform the system update, then the system will throw error when you will load the cart page, right? That is why we need to perform the system update. So currently we are waiting for the server to come up. It will take some time. Let's wait for the server to come up. So guys, you can see my server is up and running now. So I will quickly open the HSC and will perform the system update. So you can see I have already opened the HSC and I will be performing the system update. So why I am performing the system update? So that the corresponding table or the corresponding process will also get created into the database. So to perform the system update, I will go to platform tab, and over here we do have a update option. So I will will click on this update option. So once I have clicked on the update option over here, I will just unselect these two options and will just keep this update running system option as checked, and I will click on the update button. So as you can see from the backend as well, system update has been started and it will take around 15 to 20 minutes to finish. So let's wait for the system update to get finished and then we will see that our functionality will start working. So guys, you can see now the system update has been completed. Now I will open the HSC and we will see whether our newly created item type has been created into the database or not. So I will quickly open the HSC through this URL. This will take some time to open because the first time when you open HSC or any back office related things, these always take some time because these will be basically fetching the data from the database first time. After that, we always get the data from the Hybris cache. That is why second time always it is fast, but first time it always take time. So now I am in the HSC and over here I will open the flexible search. Right, so you can see I'm opening the flexible search here. So guys, you can see I'm in the flexible query console. Over here, I will just search for this newly created item type. So you can see that my query should be look like Hybris Tube email process, right? So I will be basically writing like this: select star from right Hybris Tube email process, something like this. Hybris Tube email process, and this should be there in our system, right? So you can see this is there in our system, right? So now what we will do, we will be quickly opening our storefront. We will be quickly opening our storefront. Parallelly, I will enable the debug as well by just clicking over right click and then debug as, right, debug as, then we'll click on the debug configuration and then I will be just clicking over the the pop-up which gets opened through which I can start my server in the debug mode. I have already shown you in the video how to start in the server in debug mode, but you have to do like this. The port number should be 8787. It is the same port number which you have mentioned into the local.property file, but I have already done this configuration, so I'm just clicking on the close, but you have to click on the debug mode. So guys, once system update and everything is done, we are left with only one step part. We just need to import the Impex which we had discussed. This one Impex where we had done the mapping of context file, VM files and templates. So we just have to copy this Impex, right, and we will be just running this Impex in over here in the import content console. So you can see I am just running this Impex over here. I will be just pasting the Impex from the notepad to here. Firstly, I will be doing the validate content. It will take some time to load. So you can see script is valid. Now I will be importing the content. So this will take some time again, but this content will be uploaded or imported into the database, and after that there will be a mapping between uh, context file, VM file and email template, right? So guys, this is what you have to do. And guys, this is the one example I have taken where I just checked if my car total is greater than 100, then I need to send an email to the customer, right? You can have your own problems, like you can send a email to customer on the order confirmation. Once order is confirmed for the customer, at that time you can start offering some discounts or start offering some vouchers to the customer so that customer can prompt to place more orders, right? This type of problems you can take and can work on this, right? So I hope this is clear to you. Then guys, I will be logging into my credentials into my account. right? Because our functionality is designed like this only, that if customer is a registered customer and if customer cart total goes greater than £100, only then we will be giving a discount to the customer, right? In the cart page controller we have given this condition. So guys, firstly, before enabling the debug point, I will show you that how this email functionality is working, and then I will show you by enabling the debug point as well, right? So this gonna take some time to load. So what I will do, I will quickly add one item into the cart, and as you can see the item total is already greater than 100. So once I go, once I add this item into the cart, and you will see that once I land on the cart page, automatically an email will be triggered to the customer, right? To which customer? Through which I am logging into. This customer has email ID amandeep in javahybris@gmail.com. That is why the email will be sent to this customer. If you have login with any other account, the email will be sent to that account, right? So I hope this is clear to you. So I have now added this item into the bag. So guys, you can see now the item has been added into the cart. So I will go into the cart page. So once I land on the cart page, in the cart page controller, the show cart API will be called automatically. This show cart API will be called automatically, and we will be triggering the email to the customer automatically, right? So this is going to take some time to go on the cart page, and then we will see that on the once it lands on the cart page, email will be sent to the user. So guys, as you can see now I'm clicking on the checkout, and once I click on the checkout, the I will be going to the cart page basically. And as you can see in the logs, so once we go on to the cart page, it will automatically start loading, and automatically email will also start generating. So you can see over here we do have one log email message has been generated, and then we will see that an email will also be sent to the user. You can see this is the log we have got, sending email to this user from this, and this is the subject. So you can see email has been dispatched from the Hybris system. Now let's see into our Gmail account whether we have received this email or not. So I will just refresh my Gmail account, and you can see over here I have got email at 4:30 p.m. You can see this is the same time. So it means our functionality is working. So I hope this is clear to you. You can see this email I have received on my this account, but this email was sent from this account. You can see over here I have received at 4:30 I have sent this email from this account. But how this email was sent? This email was sent from our hybrid system, right? So I hope this is clear to you. I can show you one more thing. If I just open the back office, and there I can show you that a corresponding business process should also be created. As I told you in our process.xml, we had created one business process. So that business process will also be there in business process section. So I will show you that as well. Let me log in into back office. I will go into the business process section. So guys, as you can see now I am in the business process section. So I will just click on this link, the business process link, and in this business process section we will have all the business processes which get created. So guys, as you can see, this is the business process, and you can see over here this email has been sent to the user. You can see if I just open this, you will see that this email has been sent to, and over inside that business process you will see we will have all actions which we define in our process.xml file. As you can see, if I just scroll this on the top, you will see that this is the success message which we had configured in our process.xml. These all are the actions. Generate Hybris Tube emails. You can see this action was created at 4:30 p.m. only. So this is how this business process looks like. So I hope this is clear to you, how we can create an email process, how we can check that email process in back office as well. So guys, I hope this video was informative for you, and guys, in case you have any queries, you can ask me from the comment section, or you can email me as well on my email ID amandeepinjavahybris@gmail.com. Guys, if you like this video, do share this with your friends. Thank you for watching. Bye.